Well, good evening, Facebook family and friends, end of watch family, beyond the call of duty family. Um, we're just blessed to be with you again tonight and talk about our wonderful day that we had today, day number 4 on the Ride to Remember, end of watch Ride to Remember 2021. Uh, just as always, I want to start off tonight thanking a couple of our sponsors. And then we're going to go through all of them, but we want to talk a little bit about two of our sponsors tonight. We want to talk about Phoenix Protective Corporation out of Spokane, Washington. They are our diamond sponsor and have been behind us supporting this mission since its onset. And, they're just an amazing organization to do what they do to make sure that we keep up and running and making a difference for these families. The other one that we want to talk about specifically tonight is we want to mention Esteem Security Services Incorporated, and they are a silver sponsor. So again, looking for sponsorships, looking for people to help keep this mission running, but we wanted to give a personal shout out to those two organizations tonight. I'm going to play a real quick promo video here for all of our sponsors to make sure they're all acknowledged. So let's run this real quick. So once again, you've got Ray again tonight. We were blessed. I think JC, as I was sitting here prepping, I got a notification that Beyond the Call went live. So I'm assuming JC hopped on and did a little quick snippet before me here, and we're glad to have him back with us. He took some time away to go and see his beautiful daughter Kay graduate high school, and my understanding is she graduated not only high school, but she also graduated with an associate's degree at the same time. So congratulations, Kay, if you're watching. We're all very proud of you. We're looking forward to seeing you here on the ride a little bit later this summer, but we're all very proud of you. And like I said, JC joined us back up this afternoon. So let's talk about something that is not the best thing to talk about, but we lost another officer on Friday, and I'm going to put his graphic up here. We lost Officer Adrian Lopez of the White Mountain Apache Tribal Police Department. Now, the reason that this one hits so close to home is last year on the Ride to Remember 2020, we stopped at White Mountain Apache, which is an absolutely beautiful venue. It's a beautiful area through the White Mountains of Arizona. But we stopped last year to remember and honor Officer David Kellywood, whose end of watch was February 17th of 2020. So this one hits home because we know the department, we know the families, we know the chief, we know a lot of the officers, and our hearts and prayers just go out to the White Mountain Apache Tribal Police Department again. We are so sorry for your loss, and please know that our hearts are with you, and we're thinking about you as you get through this. So, okay, so let's go on to today. So today was day number 4 for us, and we started off in Stockton. We spent the night last night, and had a short drive over to the Stockton Police Department this morning. And we were there at 8:30 this morning to honor and remember Officer Jimmy Inn. His end of watch was May 11th of 2021. This was really a neat stop. And I have to backtrack to yesterday, because yesterday we were in Sacramento and we were also in Galt. And both departments, the family, the departments, the officers, all asked when we were going to honor Jimmy, because he was so well known in the community. He had such a great reputation. He was just an amazing, amazing man. And even these other departments that we visited who lost officers tragically, they wanted to know when we were coming to see Jimmy. So this is Officer Jimmy N. And again, his end of watch was May 11th of 2021. Today, we had the opportunity to meet his wife Tila, and his beautiful son Jason. Tila is also an officer with the with the Stockton Police Department. They went to the police academy together several years ago and went different ways. He went to a different agency and then ended up coming back to Stockton. But we had an opportunity to spend some time and learn some neat things about Jimmy. He had another contagious smile. Everybody talked about his smile and how loving he was, and everybody just loved to be around him. He was 6'2". He was a tall man, which you can't tell from the pictures. But it was really amazing. It was something that I would have never guessed. But he was such a tall man, but he had such an open heart, and everybody that I talked to just said he was just a wonderful, wonderful man, a pillar in the community, loving husband and father, and just absolutely amazing. So we had an opportunity to meet his other daughters, just the whole family. It was just amazing. Had a chance to meet his partner Pancho, who also was he was actually on scene the night that Jimmy made the ultimate sacrifice, and it's been tough. Pancho is still dealing with the things that happened. So our hearts and prayers go out to Pancho as well, because he was there with Jimmy the night that it happened, and it could have gone either way. And there's a lot of there's just a lot of feelings going on. So keep Officer Pancho in your prayers, as well as the Inn family, as we move forward. So that was stop number one. And after we were done there, we rode about 2 hours down to the Fresno Police Department. And it was the same location. We actually were here last year for Fresno, and we did it the same location. But this year we actually had the Fresno Police Department and the Fresno Sheriff's Office with us, because they all had lost officers last year. So let's put up a couple tribute pictures here. So the first one is for Sergeant Richard Paul Brown, and I was made very aware that I needed to refer to him as Paul. He did not like being called Richard, so we're going to call him Paul. But I had a chance to meet his wife Lori and just talk about some of the things. We always talk about the special moments that these officers always give us and give the families, to let them know that they're always with them. Before we stopped at the department, we stopped to fill up and have lunch at a Love's truck stop right about 30 miles outside of Fresno. And right alongside the trailer, there was a horse trailer that pulled up that was loaded with 3 or 4 horses. I couldn't tell exactly. But the family got out and came over to the trailer and asked about it, and ended up buying a couple shirts, and didn't think anything of it. It was one of these truck stop people who was interested in what we did, so we didn't really think twice. But talking to Lori and learning a little bit more about Paul and his passions and everything else, he had never been anywhere near horses growing up. But several years ago, he decided he wanted to join the mounted unit with the police department, and so he did. And just those little neat things that show that he was with us, we would have never known that. That's something that there was no way we could have possibly known. As Lori and I were at the memorial looking at Paul's picture, she just happened to look off to the right and up a little bit, and there was a picture of an officer, a mounted officer on his horse, and that was where that story came from. And then I told her what happened at the Loves, and it was just one of those moments that just proves that these officers are always looking down on their survivors, on their heroes, and the people that they leave behind, and they're always going to be there. They always have to send those little signs just to let them know that they're still with us. His other sons, Paul's other sons, one of them is actually an officer with Fresno PD. He said, I'm proud to follow in my dad's footsteps, and he's honored to do that. Their other son is in the Army, stationed in Maryland right now, and actually FaceTimed with us through the whole event. Lori had him on FaceTime from the moment the memorial pulled up. To the signing of the banner, to the coin ceremony, to everything. It was, their other son was able to be a part of this, which is really awesome. So, so a couple other neat things so let me go back. So that was the Fresno Police Department. The Fresno Sheriff's Office also had 2 officers lost. Corrections Officer Juan Cruz Jr. His end of watch was November 5th of 2021. And Juan's daughter, Maddie, came out to see us today, and she was accompanied by her boyfriend and her boyfriend's mom and dad. Very, very close-knit family. It's just, Maddie is so blessed to have such a supportive boyfriend and family on her boyfriend's side. They were just amazing. I spent a lot of time with Paul's family. And some of the others that were there, and Allison had a chance to really connect and spend some time with Maddie, which was really awesome. Maddie actually just graduated high school 2 weeks ago, I believe, and is going to school. She wants to become a police dispatcher. So again, that blue blood just flows, and she wants to be a part of law enforcement. It really is truly a blessing. But that's where she's going. She just graduated high school and wants to go to school to become a dispatcher. She talked about her dad having just an outgoing personality, and there's multiple family members across the board that are involved in law enforcement and other places. So it definitely is a law enforcement family, and we're glad that Maddie was able to come out and see her dad on the memorial. The other officer that we tributed today was Officer Toamalama Scanlan, and I apologize if I pronounced it wrong, but I've been practicing all day long, and I hope that I got it right. But his end of watch was October 12th of 2021, and he also obviously was with the Fresno County Sheriff's Office as a corrections officer. Family had other obligations today and was not able to attend, but there were several deputies and officers from the sheriff's office that were there and just told us some neat stories. This is another one where he was a very big, intimidating looking man. They described him as a 6'4", 300-pound Samoan, and just had that look about him. But he was kind and loving and caring, and just had a gentle heart. The one thing that really stands out that we learned about him was, he had a very loud and very voice. He was just very powerful with his voice, and instead of using that to be intimidating, he actually had a wonderful voice singing, and he would actually sing over the rainbow in the prison to de-escalate situations that were getting out of hand. He just found that as a way to de-escalate, just because it was calming. So again, just little things that we learn about these officers, and they truly become real when we start to hear these stories. They're not just a picture and a name on a memorial. We get to hear the stories and find out who they really were as a person, and it makes us wish that we had known them. So let's put up a couple pictures here of, let's see here. So Paul Brown, I'm sorry, not Richard, Paul. So Sergeant Richard Paul Brown of the Fresno Police Department, end of watch February 17th, 2021. And then the 2 corrections officers from Fresno Sheriff's Office. We had Correctional Officer Juan Cruz, and his end of watch again was November 5th of 2021. And this was his daughter, Maddie, that was with us today, and her boyfriend and his family. And again, just an amazing young woman that has a great, great future. And we're looking forward to being there to support her as she navigates the healing process. We're really hoping that we'll be able to help be a part of that. And then we have Toamalama Scanlan. And again, you can just tell from the look, he could be very intimidating, but I have to chuckle when I picture seeing this man in a jail situation that's getting out of hand, singing over the rainbow. But just angelic. I could just see it. So, and then, like I said, we did have several members of the Fresno County Sheriff's Department that showed up to honor their heroes today. So, just a picture of them as well. So, let me hide this. So, I'm going to give a plug here for our nightcap sponsor, 1350 Distilling out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. This is the second year that they've been our nightcap sponsor, and we're just honored to have them as part of our sponsorship package. So we're going to toast tonight to these three heroes and to their families, that they'll never be forgotten. And we love all of you. Good stuff. If you love bourbon, check them out. 1350 Distilling in Colorado Springs. 1350distilling.com is their website. So let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. We didn't talk about the ride today, but we did have a beautiful ride. We had a couple hours from Fresno. It was up 4.5 hours after we left Fresno to get down to the Los Angeles area, and actually had a really beautiful ride. It was the weather was perfect. Traffic, until we actually got into probably about 10 miles, 15 miles from the hotel, traffic was actually really good. It is a Saturday, which worked out really well for our sake. But just a beautiful ride through the mountains, and it was a nice ride. We have, if you haven't caught, we're doing something a little bit different this year. We're actually sending an advance team to each location to scope things out and get things set up ahead of time. So there's 2 motorcycles and the support pickup truck that goes ahead about 20 minutes or half an hour and gets everything staged. And then after the last stop of the day, the Tundra, the truck goes ahead to take care of hotel accommodations. And the other 2 motorcycles join the rest of the pack to escort the memorial. So it's really nice to have all of us together escorting that memorial at the end of the day. Really makes it nice. So we are bedded down tonight in the Los Angeles area. El Segundo, I believe is what it's pronounced, but we're right near the airport, and we'll be here tonight. So let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow is day number 5, and we have 2 stops scheduled for tomorrow, and then another long ride. So our first stop tomorrow is Garden Grove Police Department at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll be there to remember and honor Lieutenant John Reynolds. And from there, we travel down to San Diego, a couple-hour ride down to San Diego, and we'll be there to remember. This is San Diego County Probations is where we're going. We'll be there at 12:30 tomorrow, and we have Corrections Deputy 2 Ralph Edwards Serrano and Corrections Deputy 2 Rodrigo Delgado, and we'll talk about them tomorrow night. Once we're done in San Diego, we head up to Las Vegas. So we'll have a nice toasty ride across the desert, several-hour ride up across the desert into Las Vegas tomorrow afternoon, evening, and we'll bed down and spend the night in Vegas, and then we'll go into day 6. So again, just another amazing day on this ride. It never fails. The context and the feelings and the love that we give and get. These families are so touched that we take time out of our schedules and away from our families to do this, to honor their loved ones. And they don't realize that this is all about them. We do what we do for them. And it is just a true blessing when we can make a difference. So let's take a quick peek at some comments here. Let's see here. Scroll back up to the top. Joel Reeder, good evening, JC and family. Good to see you tonight. Tammy Roberts. Let's see. Why is this not showing tonight? There we go. Tammy Lynn Roberts. Hello, everyone. Billy Reynolds. Billy, for those of you who remember, Billy joined us a couple stops last year in the Georgia area. Billy is with Delta Airlines, and he's on what they call their FIT team, which FIT stands for Frontline Involvement. And he and Sabrina Balthazar from Orlando, the Orlando area, have worked diligently to try to get some of the Delta teams, fit teams from around the country to come out and support as we stop. So again, we love Delta Airlines, and they're not a sponsor, so I'm giving them a free plug here. But Billy and Sabrina have been very, very passionate supporters and followers of ours, and we just love everything that they do. Billy will be out with us for several stops again this year in the Georgia area. Eddie Gomez. Good evening, everyone. Eddie, we're always sending love your way, brother. I have to tell you, I feel Dan every day. I am honored to be Dan. For those of you who may have missed it last night, the bike that I am riding was attributed to Dan Groves last year. And it's attributed to Sheldon Whiteman this year. And I can feel it. I can feel Dan with me, and it's just truly a blessing. So I'm honored, Eddie, to call you my brother, and Dan is with me every day, and I feel it. So love you, brother. Carol Botts. Good evening, watching from Oklahoma. Thank you again. Carol's another one that we had the opportunity to meet last year. She lost Michael a while back, and her brother and it's a connection that I made last summer, and she follows us religiously, and I love everything. So good seeing you, Carol. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Cynthia Nail, good evening from Oklahoma. Janie Moose, good evening. Hugs to all of you. Pull this up here. Safe travels. Thank you. Again, pray for us, because you know what, we're on the road. We're riding motorcycles. We're driving trucks a long distance around this country, 22,000 miles this year across 43 states. And those prayers are really important. So thank you very much. Diane Hughes. Hi, Ray. Hope all is going well. Stay safe. Again, Diane, we love you. And we were honored to remember Jay at our first stop this year. So, I mean, that's something we'll always remember as being our first stop of this ride this year, was to remember Jay. He will never be forgotten, I promise. And then last but not least, where'd it go? Oh, wait, we got more. Just scrolling up here. So Hazel Rabathley, blessings to all. For safe travels, great health and strength. Thank you very much for that. Melissa, so love to you all. Thank you, Melissa. Again, thank you for sharing your husband with us for a while this summer. Lance and I we've become great riding partners. We are on the advanced team, and I'm blessed to have him with me. I really am. So thank you for sharing him with us. Tammy Roberts, thank you. Safe travels tomorrow. Bob Duke, thank you for everyone for your dedications and safe travels. Tammy Roberts says, thank you for everything you do, and wish I was there with y'all. So again, everything that we do, everything is here for the survivors. We do what we do to let them know that their loved ones' sacrifice will never be forgotten. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. And every day we need to make sure that we are sending up prayers and thoughts for every single one of these survivors. As we travel across this country, we make connections with the families. But you know what? All of you out there can be this network that reaches out and find them. I mean, they follow us on Facebook. You have their names. Don't be afraid to reach out. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you care about them. Tell them that you're thinking about them. Thank them for their sacrifice. Nothing's going to change the past, but if we can make a brighter future, and we can take a little bit of that pain away from their sacrifice, then you know what? It's all worthwhile. Everything we do is worthwhile. So thank you all. I love you all. I'm sure JC closed his video, but if you see Leos out there, if you see law enforcement officers out there, give them a hug, shake their hand, thank them for their service, thank them for what they do. It's so important for them to know that they're loved and they're supported. We're in California right now, and it's very up and down. There are areas that are very pro law enforcement, and there are areas that are very against law enforcement. And I will tell you, as we drove into LA tonight, we got a lot more thumbs up and peace signs and waves than we did any negatives. And that says a lot, because that wasn't the way it was 2 years ago. So again, bless you all. Thank you all. please, 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 this is a weekend. So if you're out celebrating anything, if you're out having a good time with your friends and family, please do not drink and drive. If you see emergency lights, please pull over. And, again, most importantly, if you see law enforcement officers, just acknowledge their sacrifice of what they do day in and day out, putting their lives in the lines. They are the sheep herders. They are the ones out there protecting the flock. And it's important they know that they have support. So I love you all. I'm not sure whether it will be JC or I tomorrow night. I actually, you know what? I just got a note that I have to set a shout out to Britt's Barbecue here in El Segundo, I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of information. I just, as I'm looking at my phone here, wrapping up the live, I'm told that Britt's Barbecue here in the Los Angeles area, and we'll leave it at that, provided dinner for us tonight, which is huge. And you guys, if you see me on my personal lives that I'll start doing again when I'm not doing the Beyond the Call of Duty lives, any of you who want to know how you can support us, there's two awesome things that you can do for us. First of all, if we're coming anywhere near you, we can always use bottled water and bottled Gatorade, especially these next couple of weeks as we're traveling through Texas and Arizona and Oklahoma and the South, Louisiana, and Alabama. We need hydration. So if you're anywhere near us and want to bring something to support, please bring us some bottled water, bring us some Gatorade. If you're not able to do that and you want to help out some other way, get a hold of me, Raymond Schwab on Facebook. Last year, we had several people throughout the ride who offered to sponsor a meal for us. After we spend 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plus hours on the road, visiting departments and driving from point A to point B to point C and D, it's nice to not have to come back to a hotel and sit down and cook and then clean. Again, I want to send a shout out to Britt's Barbecue here in the Los Angeles area. Thank you very much for providing a meal for us tonight. It means the world to us. So thank you so much. Again, the rest of you that are out there, thank you so much for supporting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following everything you do to help keep us moving and keep us motivated. All the riders on the ride this year, the families and friends that are there to support, we're taking time away from our families to provide love and compassion for these families who have given the ultimate sacrifice. And just keep us all in your prayers, because that's what we're all about. So I love you all. Thank you so much. And God bless. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Have a great night.